there's a lot of controversy about the decision. But I'm going to say this. I was 100% fine with this being a draw. 100% fine with this being a draw. Tyson Fury clearly won more rounds than Wilder did. Wilder landed more effective punches and obviously knocked down Fury twice. Jalen, what did you think about the fight and what did you think about the decision?
This is actually the classic draw that took place right in front of our very eyes. Here's why. Number one, Wilder's the champion. And though he was outboxed the first 6 or 7 rounds, and by the way, Fury as an unorthodox big guy who's built like the best shaped dad bod of all time, does a great job of bobbing and weaving and slipping punches. And he made Wilder look real bad, throwing a lot of power shots in the first 6 or 7 rounds. He was sticking it with the jab. He was hitting them with 1-2s. Like, he did a really good job of also entertaining the masses.
Yes,
like going
yes.
back to his corner each time, celebrating. The judges feed off of that. The crowd feeds off of that. And if you know it's gonna be a long bout, that's just something smart to do. Now, once you get past 7, now all of a sudden, I'm like, wow, did Wilder actually just knock this guy down in the 9th round? That's truly impressive for a guy that was swinging that air a lot the first handful of rounds to actually connect and put him on the canvas. And then you go into the championship rounds, and all of a sudden in the 12th, you get another severe knockdown, and props to the referee. Because usually when a fighter lays on the canvas and he's still with his head, they automatically stop the fight. They stand over the person like it's a dead body and they stop the fight. This official didn't do that. And this dude, and I think it was Terrence Crawford who tweeted this, got up like the Undertaker.
He did.
And was like he wanted more. Kept coming in, they finished strong, they both were gracious, they were both respectful of one another, they will do it again. This is a classic draw.
This was an excellent fight, and you touched on this, and one thing that really I took away from this is just how unorthodox Tyson Fury was, not just as a fighter, but also as a personality. He just seems so big. He didn't seem like he was in shape. He's jiggling all over the place, but he still has the quickness of a featherweight. Like, it was just seemed like he couldn't get hit. Wilder only connected on 17% of his punches, and he normally, for his career, is something like in his 40s in terms of landing percentage. Like, he really, really frustrated Wilder, and as you mentioned, he started to tire Wilder out throughout the fight. But like a heavyweight champion does, at the end, Wilder was connecting. And you mentioned this, getting up from the mat was one thing, but Tyson Fury didn't just get up from the mat and survive. He got up from the mat and then started throwing and landing punches again. It was just nuts. It was such a good fight. And this is something that, listen, we know we've covered every big fight for the past 7 years, and we've loved some of the fights. Some of them have been kind of okay. But this is the first big heavyweight fight that really delivered. The entertainment, the controversy, the spectacle, the stars. I mean, this is a heavyweight fight that reminded me of like sort of the Tyson era and the Foremans and the Holyfields. Like, I love this, and you know what? Follow the money. You know what? Maybe it technically wasn't a draw. Maybe technically Tyson Fury outscored him because he won more rounds. Maybe that's technically true, but follow the money. I'm paying for a rematch, and I'm more excited for the rematch of this fight than any other potential upcoming matchup in boxing. Do you agree with that?
I agree with the fact that you follow the money in this case, but I feel like it was sort of justified if you think about it. Outboxing me 6 or 7 rounds is kind of the equivalent of me knocking you out twice in the last 5 or 6 rounds. It's kind of equivalent. And I appreciated how the level of respect they had for one another. Now, granted, Tyson Fury, you kissed his hand a little too many times, okay? A little too many times. And I understand that y'all want to get it in again and all of that stuff. But I'm as enthusiastic, like you mentioned, to see this rematch as I have been, especially in the heavyweight division, fights in some time.